What's up, family? Welcome to Speak. The wait is about over. 7 days away, 6, honestly, from the biggest game of them all, the Super Bowl. Well, here is the question. Let me remind us all, myself included, how did we get to this miraculous point in the season? Think about it. Just a year ago, Kansas City Chiefs, well, they had just won a Super Bowl, and in their minds, they were thinking repeat. That's what they wanted. But family, remember, the season, it was not all illustrious and glorious for the Chiefs. After loss, after loss, after loss, they looked up and they were 9-6. We didn't even think that the Chiefs were going to get back to this point. But just a couple weeks later, really a week ago, they hoist another AFC championship trophy. That's on the AFC side. Well, on the NFC side, it was a completely different picture. Brock Purdy, he ruptures his UCL. We did not know what was going to happen. He has surgery in March. Well, then cut 2 months and months and months and months and months and months and months go by. The Niners finish with 12 wins, #1 seed in the NFC. And then they go to the playoffs after a 7-point deficit and a win over the Packers and a 17-point deficit win over the Lions. They posing, winning the NFC. So now you see the NFC champ, the Niners, the AFC champ, the Chiefs, and we are 1 week away from the biggest spectacle in American television, the Super Bowl. Let's bring it to the desk because it's a lot of stuff to celebrate. A lot of stuff to celebrate. We look ready for celebration. 2-5, this is his favorite beat. It's the same beat every day, but it's his favorite beat.
Y'all like that beat? I can rap that beat.
That's Eagles all-time rushing leader, LeSean "Shady" McCoy. On the far end, that is Super Bowl champ James Jones. Let's all love James Jones. And to his right, the brilliant Joy Taylor. Yo, we look Super Bowl ready.
We look super high up here.
We look Super Bowl ready. I'm not gonna lie to it. Oh man, if this is y'all's first time watching Speak, it's about to be fun. It's about to be a trip. Turn your volumes down. Sink into your seats.
I'm getting comfortable. You said be home. I'm home.
Get comfortable, family. This is what it's all about. This is what sports television is about. If y'all do not know, Shady McCoy, he won his first Super Bowl with the Chiefs in 2019. His first of 2. So, Shady, you know what a Super Bowl run looks like. Both of these teams have made phenomenal runs. Over 100 million people will watch this game 6 days from now. Tell me, which run was more impressive, the Chiefs or the Niners?
That's an easy one. It's got to be the Chiefs. I mean, just think about this for a second. We always thought that the Niners were the best team in football for a while, for a period of time, before the Ravens came up there and they... right? Before Lamar Jackson did that thing, it was Brock Purdy, MVP, right? Him and Dak was going at it for a while. You look at the Chiefs, it was none of that. We kept talking about how, Patrick Mahomes, this is the worst he's ever looked in his whole career. Oh, Patrick Mahomes, for the playoffs, he got to go on the road. Yeah. Can he beat Josh Allen on the road? Can he do this? Can he do that? That's what we talked about. Sir. Now we talking about how they might be the best team in football back again. So for me, it's got to be the Chiefs. I mean, this is the thing they overcome. All these young wide receivers that drop the ball all year, they led the league in drops for a reason, right? Kelsey, is he distracted? Is it too much Swifty going on with Taylor Swift? Can he focus? He's not playing the same way. And what happens? Right? Chris Jones with the contract situation. Like, it was so many different things. Yeah. But now they're in a Super Bowl, and it's 25. Shady McCoy is picking the Chiefs to win.
How much? Huh?
I can show you, Brad. I can tell you. And don't make me do it. Do not make me do it. I'm going with the Chiefs this championship.
Already on Monday, you
Listen,
saying Chiefs.
I'm hyped up, man. Yeah. Listen, I was in Vegas last weekend. I couldn't wait. They said, "Shit, it's next week." I said, okay. I came back, and I'm going back, so I'm going with the Chiefs.
I love it. Joy Taylor, who had the more impressive run to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it has to be the Chiefs because we counted them out.
Yes, they did.
Some people picked the Niners to be in the NFC Championship.
Bang, bang.
Did they do that?
Yeah. I think I did too.
Oh, you did?
Niners, Bills?
Yeah, Niners, Eagles.
Niners, Bills, I think.
Oh, no, not in the actual Super Bowl. But, to get to the NFC Championship game, we expected the Niners to be good. We expected the Chiefs to be good, but not once the season started. And we feel differently about how the Chiefs are right now because they're in the Super Bowl, but also how they played in the postseason. Because during the regular season, it was a different story. Not only did they have the most drops in the league, they had some bad losses. Yeah. Some losses that were very uncharacteristic. 24-9 to the 8-9 Broncos in Week 8. 2014 to the 8-9 Raiders in Week 16.
I forgot those to the Raiders.
Aiden O'Connell was 0 for 10 over the final 3 quarters.
I'm saying that kind of strong.
That was a unique game.
Raiders like that, yeah.
This is a team that always beats them.
We got on their head,
and is in the Super Bowl now.
Beat them down.
With the best player in the league.
No doubt.
I'm not saying you can't lose games, but not looking like that.
Is that the game where the quarterback only threw the ball?
0 for 10 in the final 3 quarters.
Raiders,
Yeah. That's a bad loss.
That's
a bad loss. And then the loss to the Eagles as well. So it wasn't just that they were, coming down off the Super Bowl. They didn't look like themselves. We were questioning if they were going to be able to get back on track with the wide receivers. Travis Kelce wasn't himself. So I think, obviously, it sounds a bit silly because, we said if they wound up in the AFC Championship game, would anyone be surprised? No. But during the season, it did not feel like that. It felt like it. We were hitting the panic button and saying, is this the end of the dynasty? Are they ever going to reach a dynasty? So for them to be here after everything that they went through during the regular season, I think it has to be very impressive.
I think it's very impressive what the Chiefs did. Very impressive what the Chiefs did. I'll say the Niners had the more impressive run. And the reason I'll say the Niners had the more impressive run, let's fast forward literally. We can go, rewind a year ago today. A year ago today, the Chiefs were about to play in the Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. And they were about to win another Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. But the same year ago today, the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers was about to undergo surgery on his throwing arm. Not surgery on his big toe, not surgery on an ankle, not surgery on a knee, surgery on the arm that he utilizes to throw the football. Cut 2. That same quarterback was about to be a sophomore. There is something we know in sports called a sophomore slump.
Oh, okay.
So not only was that quarterback about to be a sophomore, where notably most quarterbacks slump, he was about to be a sophomore coming off surgery on his throwing arm when you don't usually have that particular surgery on your throwing arm, so we don't even necessarily know how a quarterback is supposed to train nor adjust to that. That is why I will say the Niners. I recall having incredible conversations on this desk when we talked about the Niners. And before the season, most of us had to reserve our opinion on the Niners until what? Until we saw Brock Purdy play. Because we didn't even know what Brock Purdy was going to be capable of doing or not be capable of doing. We didn't know if he was going to be able to throw the football, family. So what I don't want to now do is adjust my expectation of Brock Purdy and the Niners because they have completely excelled beyond our wildest imagination. For me, the Niners were still more impressive because if I were to say Patrick Mahomes goes back to a Super Bowl or sophomore Brock Purdy goes to his first Super Bowl after surgery on his throwing arm, I would think that was more impressive. James, what say you, sir?
I hear you, but this ain't even close how the seasons went.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs had the most impressive run. Brock Purdy was in the MVP conversation all year long. Patty Mahomes was having his worst season all year long. Receivers led the league in drops. When you talk about an impressive run, Andy Reid had to be a whole lot better. Dang, I got these young fellas dropping these balls. What kind of plays I'm going to call for Patrick Mahomes? Like, everybody, the defense had to step up. The defensive coordinator's been coaching out of his mind. Like, everybody had to step up in this run. When the Niners lost games, they ain't healthy. When they get healthy, they'll be back. The Niners went in, and almost every game favored. They went to the link. 10-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. They coming in there favored. Everybody all year long has believed in the 49ers that they would be in this game, right? Beginning of the season, sure, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs coming off a Super Bowl, they are going to be in this football game. But as the season went on, especially me, I'm like, it ain't no chance we see Patty in this football game. And then they wake up and you go on the road to beat a Josh Allen, who's an elite quarterback, and you go on the road again and beat the MVP in Lamar Jackson after all the ups and downs that you had in this football season. This is an impressive run by Patrick Mahomes, and that's why I feel like if he can capitalize on this and win a Super Bowl, I don't know what else there is left to say about Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Let me ask a question for the desk, and I think everybody knows this person. I hate this person, and I was this person. We all know this person. I hate this person, and I was this person. This person is the sandbagger. Let's go back to conditioning in the summer when we were in college or in your sports team. And coach says, James Jones, Joy Taylor, LeSean McCoy, you have 20 100-meter sprints. Very simply put, you got to sprint the length of the football field, 100-yard sprints. You got 40 seconds to rest. You got to sprint back the length. Now, there was always one individual, and I was that one, who for the first 18 of them,
you chilling.
Yeah. And then them last two, coach blows the whistle. Hey, fourth quarter. Get your fours up, 2 more. And then them last two, you just guns blazing. Usually the last two, Joy, is when the head coach trots down from his office to see who's working hard. And the one sandbagger, now he's sprinting them last two, and the head coach is like, hey, great job, Acho. Meanwhile, my teammate Shady McCoy is like, bro, you wasn't even running the whole time. Can you applaud the sandbagger, who I will now call the Kansas City Chiefs? Obviously, the reason being is the Chiefs are this talented. Travis Kelce, you've been this good. Where was your Ravens performance all season? MVS, you iced the game. The game was on the line versus the Ravens, and you iced it. Wait, where was that versus the Eagles when Patrick Mahomes needed you on a deep ball? So the reason I will say that I'll give more credit to the Niners, and obviously you can give it to the Chiefs. I don't say it for argument's sake. I just say it for the sake of a further conversation, is the Chiefs always had this. So I won't lower my expectation of the Chiefs because they lowered their performance. The Niners came to work more often than the Chiefs came to work. There were 3 games we can say the Niners didn't come to work. But the Niners brought it every single week. To me, that's more impressive than a team who didn't, but brought it when it mattered most.
I agree with you at the beginning of the...
Sandbaggers.
Sandbaggers.
That's a new one. I never heard that one.
You never heard it?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Oh, I've never heard that. Wow.
Yeah.
I learn something every day.
You gotta give them a little talking to afterwards.
Sandbagger?
Yo.
You didn't know that dude?
Either we all running slow for the first 15.
That's it. That's it.
Or not.
I mean, you know, on my team, you're not doing that. Yo, my man. Because I was that guy.
The Chiefs have 3 All-Pros this year. Obviously, we're not going to count Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are still, extremely elite players. They weren't All-Pros this year. So let's call it 5 because they have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and they weren't All-Pros this year. The Niners have 7.
Yeah.
I hear you in the beginning of the season. We did have a lot of questions about what Brock Purdy was going to look like. And his recovery from that and this season, that's probably going a little overlooked.
Yes.
That he also had that surgery.
Crazy.
We're not giving him credit for coming back from that as well because it feels so long ago. But I think now that we've seen the entirety of the season, we've seen how it's gone. We have the evidence of how great this Niners team is. They have 7 All-Pros. They've played at a high level. They've beat teams down all season long. We're favored in so many games. To me, I can pull back and say, obviously the Niners season was incredibly impressive, and Brock Purdy has been impressive. And this might be one of the best runs, especially if they end up winning, it will be Shanahan's best run of his career. So it is extremely impressive. But as the season went on, we wrote the Chiefs off. There was never a point this season where we were like, yeah, the Niners are not going to get this together. The Niners are not really who they say they are. They had some injuries, and we were like, can Brock Purdy win without Deebo Samuel? And that was it. So when we're talking about how this season has gone, at the beginning of the season, totally agree with you. Those are the conversations we were having. But now that we know how it went, I'm thoroughly impressed with the Chiefs. And to be able to block out all that noise, like that to me is incredibly impressive as well, because the expectations are always super high for the Chiefs. And you're struggling like that to overcome that, to hear everybody saying there's nothing that can be fixed here, that Travis Kelce's not going to get it together to now be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, we was having conversations with the Chiefs like, is Travis Kelce traveling, hurting the team? Like, it was a bunch of stuff. Is Travis Kelce dating the Swifties, hurting the team, the stardom of like, it was a lot of stuff.
I think it's just one Swift.
You know, Swift. Whatever they got going on. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of questions, man. He over here at this soccer game. He dropping the football over here. It was all that.
Football over here.
Only thing we had about the Niners is when they played their worst football, they wasn't healthy. Yeah. Right? And we all know in the National Football League, the hardest thing to do is be consistent. Especially when you're Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, when you know that when people walk into your building, they are making sure, hey, this is the measuring stick right here, the Kansas City Chiefs and Patty Mahomes. If we can beat them, we have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. So you're getting everybody's best shot every single week. And they were a real inconsistent football team all year long. And to finally, when it mattered, number one, it starts with the quarterback. When it mattered, to be hitting on all cylinders, your superstar players stepping up, coaches coaching out of their mind. This is an impressive run.
But I got a question for y'all, too, at the end of the desk then, because, James, I know you got two boys, right? 11 and 9?
10 and 12.
10 and 12.
Yep.
It's
Athletes.
like, do you credit your son, the one who always does it right? Does he get less credit for than the one who does it wrong, but finally does it right? Because I look at the Niners as the one who, they always did it right. Their average margin of victory was 19 points a season, second in the league. They did it right. They got to the playoffs, they did it right. They just always did it right. Everything was right. Then the Chiefs were the son, if I may, that like always did it wrong. But finally they did it right. And we're applauding them for having done it wrong and finally getting it right. More than Shady in my mind, we're applauding the person who just did it right. From week 1, the Niners beat the Steelers 30-7 week 1. Then I think week 2, they beat the Rams 30-23. Then I think week 3, they just boom. Then they beat the Cowboys. Then they boom. So the Niners just were always good. Is that not worthy of greater applause than the team who had the ability to be this good?
I hear you, but Like when,
This is an easy one.
I don't want to discredit the Niners path at all either. But like they did play pretty poorly all season long. The Chiefs did, and then had to go on the road. We won't count the Dolphins because this is my misery. But they had to go on the road and beat Josh Allen, and then go on the road and beat the best team in the AFC.
Right.
Well, if anything, you would be disappointed in the 49ers.
Why?
Because both my kids is the Chiefs. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. They do something right. I'm like, I see you, dog. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, they're not consistent like the 49ers. So for me, like, if they was like the Niners and then they messed up, I'd be like, come on, bro, that ain't even you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you been boom, boom, boom. Like, you handle your business. Man, we ain't even got to get on you. But mine are the Chiefs. So that's why I say that's more impressive. Because if I wake up or something, I was like, dang, but you did that on your own? That's impressive to me. That's why I'm taking Patty and the Chiefs on this one right here.
I love it.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.